Yes, people, and we're back with another episode of On The Judy, and today we've got someone who's had a colourful career regarding certain incidents, but we got Mr. Watford, Troy Deeney. Thanks for coming on.
Mr. Watford, you know. Lloyd Doyle will be disappointed.
Nah,
I'm
you're Mr.
the
Watford.
Prince of Watford.
Nah, I'm gonna give you the crown. I'm gonna give you the crown. But to start, before we get into your journey, I'm an Arsenal fan.
That makes sense as to why you're so quiet outside, but go on.
So I'm just a quiet person until the mic comes on, innit? You ruffled a few feathers a couple of years ago with the cojones talk, but why did that come about?
I think it's the wrong question. The question is, am I wrong?
I'm not one of them diehard fans like the AFTV people and that, but certain times now you're not wrong. Back then,
was I wrong then? In that one game for that one instance that we was talking about, was I wrong then?
Maybe.
Sorry.
That's cool. Maybe.
Well, if you watch the game back and there's a ball goes up with 7 seconds before we score, ball comes up to Ozil, he hears a shout, ducks, kicks it to his shin, we get the ball, cross, goal.
So what would you expect him to do? If he was your teammate, what would you
not
want?
shit the bed and to take a touch. What's the worst that's going to happen? He gets fouled and you draw. Game's finished 1-1.
But the term know your teammates, if he's not that type of player, would you expect it from him?
So you expect to pay someone 300 grand a week that can't control the ball?
I'm pretty sure he can control the ball, but that one
He
instant.
didn't. So what did he do?
Heard a call duck, yeah.
Shit the bed. So you're allowed to say it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, in the opinion of what you can say, like, people go cojones and then use that for the next 5 years. Because remember, I said that 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We get relegated by Arsenal. Oh, where's your cojones? We were shit. We lost. We went down. Now what?
You're back up, innit?
No, but like, now what? Like, it's true. People lose. People in instances of what you're talking about. Like, when you're asked an opinion on a match, it's about said match.
Yeah.
It's not about the whole Arsenal career and if that player's good enough or if that player's like should be there or move on. It's about your opinion of that. And that's what frustrates me, because I said it about one moment in one game.
Yeah.
And it stuck with me for 7 years because you lot are a bit sensitive.
I'm not one of them diehard fans.
But you're an Arsenal fan, and I just asked you a question and you panicked, so it's fine.
Alright, cool. Let's move on. We were speaking earlier. You're writing a book.
Yeah.
What made you want to write a book?
To be honest, it was more like to close that chapter in my life. So you'll see in the book I had an interesting childhood, and I think to people that are from the community and from the area, you'll know my story 10, 15 times over.
Yeah.
But to people that don't, it's a good read. You can sensationalize it and make it bigger than what it is. But people that don't know, got beat up by my dad. He beat on me and my mom.
Whoa. We'll get into that. Save it for the pod.
But ask me about the book, bro.
Just plug the book. Tell us what
it's
like.
I tell you, basically, the long and short of it is I got an interesting lifestyle that we thought, let's say that, because if it can help one person,
Facts.
then like I feel like I've done my job. So basically within that, it was that really, like, just try and get it done, help someone. And just where I'm at now is kind of like parking that part of my life.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that same person.
Yeah.
So everything I do now is more like to help. And that's very cheesy to say, but I am more for giving time and not necessarily money, because I don't think money solves people's issues, but more time, advice, information. I think that's what I try and do moving forward. But obviously, where I need to pay, I will pay.
No, I can rate that. Did you struggle like transitioning from who you were before, like the younger you, to this version of you now? Was it a struggle, or was it?
I struggle every day. That's why I keep him around me. Every day I struggle. I'd have nights like, I'm not ashamed to say it. Like, I'd have nights we'd be out having a normal night. I'd just start crying randomly. Like, you'd think I was having like a mental breakdown. I'd cry for like 2 minutes uncontrollably, snap back out, and that's it, back to normal. People think I'm bipolar and that.
But you see, like you, like the football you, people wouldn't expect that.
Yeah.
And like, what causes that? What causes the crying? Like,
ultimately trauma, really, but not knowing how to deal with, process it. Because within the lifestyle of like what I've come up in, I didn't go to doctors. I've not had a TB jab. I've not had, like, I'm old school. You're sick, you eat oranges, you eat apples, you drink loads of water, you
Yeah.
crack on. So within that, I went through a real. Obviously, my early life was a bit like, I think when you're a kid, you can kind of pass it off and you don't really think about it too much. And as you get a bit older, like from the age of 20 to 22, I ended up in jail at 22. Yeah, so the 2 year spell, I lost 3 of the 5 people that raised me, all within 18 months, and then I went to
That's
jail.
mad. That's mad. I can relate to like losing my mum young,
Yeah,
and then a year later losing a good friend in like a gang
yeah.
situation, and that made me realize that like this lifestyle ain't for me. But for you to realize it at what age did you
I was
actually
like,
understand?
no, I didn't understand it really until maybe 26, because I used to drink. So
Okay.
drinking used to like suppress it for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
and then it would come out in rage, in like fighting and different issues like that. But ultimately, like I dived into things. So like I dived into football heavy. I dived into drinking heavy.
Yeah.
Whatever I dived into, gambling or even like fitness, whatever it was, I dived into that really heavy, and it kind of took my mind off it. But I never went back and expressed or even tried to break it down or peel back a layer. Like, right, why was I thinking like that, or what
Yeah.
was that? Because where I'm from, we don't talk.
Yeah.
Like my best friend over there, he's got issues that we now as older we talk about. When we were he's a little bit older than me. We're like 25, 23. No one wants to know what your issues are and if you're sad about missing your dad. And it was like, we're going out, we're gonna have a good time, we're gonna do what we're gonna do. Like, and you move on to the next one, and you only dealt with the issue when that arose.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
get you.
yeah, I just think from the community, like even now you see like with this COVID stuff, people are like don't talk about it. There's no conversations. It's just we just don't talk about it. We're not having the vaccine. That's it. It's done. Do you get
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's pros and cons to everything. We need to talk, and I think that's what people need to do, especially within the Black community, is to talk more.
No, facts. When you were that age, why? I know you said like we don't talk, but why didn't you talk? Like, I know why I didn't talk,
Mm.
because I put on this front, I was on road doing
Yeah,
whatever. Why didn't you talk?
because I was told not to. I
Oh,
was trained from a kid not to.
okay.
You don't speak to police. You don't speak to doctors. You don't speak to nothing. What happens behind these closed doors is what happens. So even if we had a big bust up and like I spoke about in the book, there's a family dispute where my dad got into it with me and my mum. Once we walked outside the door, that's it. You're not
Happy
allowed to speak
families.
to anybody else.
Mm.
You never show anybody else that anything else is wrong, because it was classed as an embarrassment. You don't
Yeah.
show any shame, or you don't feel shame. You're not allowed to. Just part that up and crack on. And that's what I've done with a lot of my life. Like
Okay.
instances will happen and people go like I'm resilient, but it's not. I just got this switch in my mind where I can just turn it off and carry on about what's next and what is the next chapter and what do we do tomorrow. And I don't really set 20-year targets. I set like 20-minute targets. Like,
Yeah.
what can I do to just finish that?
No, I hear that. I think I'm like the same. I don't have a switch. I'm just like carefree. I live day to day. Like, if I don't have money today, I'm sure I'm gonna have money tomorrow. It's not really an issue for me, innit? Like,
Yeah, I and so that I do care a lot though. I've got kids, so I have to care. I got people I care about,
yeah.
which means I do care. Because if something was to happen to them or an action of mine was to affect them, then I certainly care. But I've just got, like I say, I've got this switch, and I do it sometimes. Like if I'm arguing with the missus, let's say, she could be talking, and I genuinely am looking at her and I don't hear nothing what's
I can
being
relate
said.
to that.
Do you know what I mean? It just switches off, and she'll go, "What did I say?" I go, "Huh? What?" Like just forget.
I can definitely
And I
relate
could
to
do
that.
that with like the missus, with football, with anything. It just switches off.
No, I hear that. Let's start talking about you, like career wise. You're quite outspoken. Like you put all your cards on the table, lay all your
Mhm.
cards on the table. Has that affected your career, or have you
Yeah,
been like
because
how like what can you remember or what can you tell us
mm-hmm.
that being outspoken has stopped you from
Stop
playing or whatever?
moves.
Okay,
Yeah, it's definitely stop moves.
to
I
where?
believe that it certainly hampered certain like England aspirations at times, because like we've only just met each other recently, and you like can see that I'm cool, I'm
Yeah,
happy
not
go
cool. Yeah,
lucky, I'm whatever. But if you don't know me, you see the football version of me and me being outspoken. It that doesn't correlate to me being a welcoming kind of guy. So why would you want that in your team? Why would you want to bring that kind of potential trouble into your team? And yeah, it's definitely stop moves.
but you see that wouldn't the club that's interested in you speak to your club and be like, what's he like in the change room?
But
For sure, they would give you a good like reference.
But a club wouldn't want to sell me. At those moments, clubs didn't want to sell me, so they weren't even entertaining the conversation.
Yeah, but money you have to make, innit? Like what? What, they
I
don't
was
want to
still,
make money?
yeah. But if they wanted to keep me, they give me a new deal. That's why I signed a new deal 4 years in a row.
Let's see why I call you Mr. Watford.
No, but it's that like it's business, and I'm trying to word it the right way. Like, best way to put it is, even when I'm out and about,
Yeah.
you'll get someone that will go, Deeney, nice to meet you, cool. Then we'll go out and we'll be chilling, and it'll be like, there's that Deeney, he's a prick. And it's like, I'm still the same person. I haven't said anything to that person or that person, but just off what your perception of me is will bring out a different side to you. And I think that's what
Saying that, yeah. So I told my teammates that, right, like, I'm interviewing Troy Deeney. 2 Watford fans, oh my God, he's my idol, blah, blah, blah. Other fans are like, other teammates are like,
he's a prick.
It's
Yeah, fine.
Like,
he calls it me all the time. It's fine. My kids are starting to do it as well.
Just mention your kids.
Yeah.
I know you spoke about like how you grew up, kept everything quiet in the house. Will you teach your kids to grow up like that, or was it?
Nah, they've got a completely different lifestyle. And also I'm trying to change who I am along the way. So there is still parts I think you need to keep of what people call the old school, but I just think it's solid foundations. Like, you be respectful. Anything free, anything you can do for free, do it. So that's use your manners, be respectful, be on time.
Facts.
Things like that. They're key things I try and do, and work hard. But they're going to be in a different space to what we are. Like, look at just schooling now, for example.
Yeah.
We were learning like algebra. They're going to be learning coding. So like we have to, I think as parents, we have to now start going, how do we adapt to their new world? It's a new world for everyone.
Yeah.
And I know, like, you said COVID earlier, but the terminologies that are being used with COVID and stuff, like, it's our new normal. But like, my son's 19 months, he's never seen people without masks.
Yeah.
Do you get, like, when you think of it like that, like, right, his normal is seeing people with a mask. His normal is being isolated. So I have to like explain to him that there's a normal life before that, what we all grew up in, but then there's also a new world that you're now going to grow up in, which is probably going to be better for you. And how do you succeed in that?
Facts. I'll note that down and teach my daughter that, because when I'm out with her at home, obviously.
How old's your daughter, please?
She's 8 months.
Oh, sick.
Thanks. Yeah, she's all smiling. As soon as you go into the shopping centre, sees masks, withdrawn, scared, all of that. So, and she's got to get used to that, innit?
Of course. And like, I'm getting to the point now where my son needs to, like, he's boisterous. He's me in a little miniature body. Like, he wants to just run around and be on like little scooters and stuff. But I need to get him into a nursery now to understand to interact with people, because he's only seen 3 to 5 people. So like, when my boy comes over, he's wary of him. Like, you come over the other day, and he's like, I don't know about him. He's not normally in here. Second he leaves, he's like, right, let's go. Then it's back to normal. It's just us. So it's again getting him used to seeing people, and the way the world is, you need to have people skills. If you don't have that, you're not going to do anything.
Facts. You mentioned something about you being outspoken stopped you, like England and stuff like that. How comes you never play for like wherever your parents are
Jamaica.
from? Yeah, Jamaica.
Because I could still play for Jamaica today, but see how I look at it is very, I don't know, it's very different. I think 2 things. One, I've never visited Jamaica myself, personally, never been there. So why would I go and represent something that I don't represent?
Why haven't you been back there?
Just because my dad died before we could ever go back. So just before my dad died, my grandparents went back. They came over here, Windrush generation, worked, went home, kind of thing. My dad always said he wanted to go, and he died. He's never gone. Why should I go? Like, it holds an attachment that was his dream. So why would I go and do that?
Wouldn't you live his dream through you? Like,
no,
go in there
every
and
man lives their own dream.
See that? I would go and be like, visit my roots and stuff like that. I go back, post-COVID. I used to go back. I'm from Uganda. I used to go back every year, see family. I'm in a family group chat where we only speak like the native language. But I don't understand. Like, don't you want to?
That's your normal though. And you see, the thing with the word normal is your normal and my normal are different.
Yeah, I hear that.
But we put the word normal out there to normalize things, so it's completely different. So, like, me going out to Jamaica, and playing, I'm taken away from someone that's their only chances to represent their country the same way I would love to represent England, because I've grown up watching Wrighty, Alan Shearer, all of those people, Gascoigne, you can name the names. But some person that works and lives in Jamaica and he's playing football in Jamaica, or might have gone to the States to play football, to represent Jamaica is a big thing. But I get a pass because I'm playing in the Premier League. I get to jump over him because I'm from England. So to base that on that, I'm actually taken away from the roots. I'm taken away from the culture, if you look at it that way, because I'm getting a head start. Which, if you talk about racism, it's the same thing.
Though. Huh? It's not your fault though.
Well, then that's like asking white people to not feel bad about racism, then, right? Because it's not their fault that things happened 100 years ago.
Fair play. You got me there, innit? Fair play. Fair play. But to be fair, I've never ever.
But you get what I'm saying? Like,
I hear it. I've never ever heard it like that. No one's ever put it in that perspective.
And that's the thing. That's why people don't, and that's why I get frustrated with doing small interviews, because it'll go into snippets. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And I want it to be like, listen to what I'm saying and understand why I'm saying it. Because if I go over there, let's say for argument's sake, it's £2,000 to play for Jamaica. I can give that £2,000 to a local school. £2,000 doesn't do nothing. Because every time I have to go back every time now.
It's costing them money.
It's costing them, exactly. Yeah. But there might be somebody that's there in the community, similarly to what we do in Birmingham, is like, we can touch people we know so whoever's got a kids football team that needs an Adidas kit for the year, Troy will pay for that. It's £600 for the year. But if I go back to Jamaica, I've got to cover all of the schools.
Yeah, you can't,
because now I picked one school that I don't know anyone from, but then there's going to be 50 letters next time saying, we need this, we need that, we need that. So I'm actually making the problem worse.
No, I hear that. I hear that.
That's just my logic on it. Some people might say that's silly, but I don't know. Because there's a World Cup coming up, so I could really be selfish and go, do you know what? Let me play. If we get to the World Cup, I'll go and say I played in the World Cup. I just think that's selfish, personally.
Nah, my hat's off to you for putting it that way. I only bring it up because one of my friends has made his debut for Jamaica, scored in his debut.
Who's that?
Jamalo.
Oh yeah.
He's a good friend. He used to work with me, and then he went pro. Nice. But that's the only reason I asked. But yeah, I've never ever been told.
But everyone's got a different perspective on it.
Facts. Yeah.
So like, I could look at someone like Hudson-Odoi, for example, and go, "But why did you play for England and now you're going to go and play for Ghana?" Or Jack Grealish, right? You played for Ireland and now you play for England.
Yeah. Like,
you can all have opinions on it, but what they think will be their truth.
Facts.
So who are we to question that?
No, we're not.
Do you know what I mean? That's just how it is. So everyone's entitled to their opinion, really.
No, fair play. Now let's start talking football. During the lockdown, when it first started, you didn't really want to go back. Was you not ready, or was you scared, or?
I'm gonna give you a chance to re-ask that question. So
obviously,
was I not ready? I'm always ready.
I mean, like,
and
scared because of the.
So what it is, my son obviously was born with breathing difficulties and like a dodgy heart in it. So if you remember when the talk of COVID first started, it was breathing difficulties, and it may affect the elderly, people with heart problems, and if he was overweight.
Yeah.
So my son touched 2 of the 4 categories that he said in February, and the way it was all coming across was very scary.
Yeah,
if you remember,
straight in your face.
It was, wasn't it? It was like it's going to kill millions, blah blah blah. And then when they said lockdown, I was like, whoa, this is now serious. Because I look at it from a monetary perspective. Like, if you're going to stop the whole world making money, then it must be dangerous. So when we had the Premier League meetings, nothing in that was concrete because it was new to them. So they were like, oh, we want to do this. We're thinking about doing that. And I'm like, when it comes to my kids' health, I need a bit more than a think and a know. Yeah. I want a matter of fact. What happens if we come back? What things are in place for my kids? And if it means me losing money, then all right, I prefer to lose money than lose people. I've already lost people, and I've lost a lot of money over the years, so it doesn't really bother me. Yeah. But my kids do. So yeah, in that instance, it was that, and all I did was raise sensible questions.
Goes back to what you said. Is like, when you speak, you want to speak open and not take little snippets. They probably took a little snippet of that.
It wasn't even that. Somebody took it out of the meeting. So I expressed these same things in the meeting, and everybody understood what I was saying. But then somebody has reported out of the meeting that Troy Deeney didn't want to come back. Instead of the reason why he doesn't want to come back.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's another reason I'll tell you off air, which you won't want to know why, but he knows why.
Right, we'll talk after. After. You didn't have the fairy tale career to be a pro, like you weren't in like academies and stuff.
To say the least. Yeah.
Yeah. Where did the love of football come from, or did you?
I've always loved football. Yeah, that's what my dad made us do football. Like for most people, that was our thing. Like football was the reason why we weren't gonna get in trouble. Do you get what I mean? So like played football. I was like, I think I was 4, and I've always had ever since I can remember, I've always had a football.
Yeah.
And at the age of 6, I was playing under 9s football. So my dad used to put us, like me and my little brother, with the local kids. Like if you were 4 or 5 years older, play, kick him. If he cries, get him up, kick him again. And that's how we used to learn. So from like 6, I've always been playing above my age. And then obviously the story's been told numerous times, but when I was 15, could have went to Villa, wanted to go to Park and chase girls instead. Fucked that up. But my younger brother was better than me, believe it or not. He's mustard. He's got a left foot. He's nice. Nah, we won't get into that. But he's doing something else. And but yeah, he was nice with it. But he's just like, we're just 2 different personalities. My brother wants instant success, whereas I just need to be shown a little bit of a door, and I'll make it happen. And then me and him used to play. Believe it or not, he used to take penalties and miss.
I might have a ball in my car and I see him do like 10 kicks or
we used to play football, and like when I was growing up, he was like the local hood celebrity. So I wanted to be around him. He had a nice motor, about 18 different chains. He was the man. So I was just, wherever he went, I kind of went. And we just started playing local football. And I knew that he played there, so if I could play on the same team as him, I might be able to go out with him on a night out.
Okay.
That was kind of the vibe I was on. And yeah, it all just kind of fell into place. It tried its best to mess it up, but I somehow got here in the end.
I hear that. What stopped you like chasing that lifestyle? Was it football, or was it like?
Nah, my dad was harsh on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have his last name for that reason, because his last name's known in Birmingham. And like even when I got locked up.
Oh, was that a family choice?
Yeah, like he made that happen. Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool.
When I got locked up, the guy who was doing like the mug shots and that was like, "You're Berkey's son, innit?" I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "I knew you'd be here." So
really?
Like, that was kind of what it was. My dad was in that jail for like 15 years, really. So, but he was cool person. Like, asking him, was a good guy, bit of a nutter, like, but he was a good guy. Loved his football, loved his sport, but just not someone to be messed with.
Sorry, that comment from the gov kind of threw me. Like, when you hear that, what are you thinking? Like, you're at this time you're a footballer as well, innit? Like, you're a pro.
Yeah.
You're in jail, and then the gov's going.
I was in my second year at Watford. Yeah.
The gov's going, I knew you'd be here.
Yeah.
Are you thinking, right, they're gonna set me up like to fail here, or?
No, honestly, that's where the switch would come in, because I buried my dad 2 days before I got locked up.
Oh.
So
wait, sorry. Did you not get sentenced straight because you're a celeb?
Nah, the incident happened in February. We were supposed to get sentenced in May, when my dad was sick and we knew he was coming to the end. So we pushed it back. We applied for it to be pushed back. Not like I got power to change it, but I applied for it to be pushed back. They pushed it back to the Monday. Buried dad on, was it Friday? It was Thursday or Friday, innit? Like, I think it was Friday.
Yeah.
Buried dad on the Friday. Had the weekend with the boys. Had a good drink. Got locked up Monday.
So what, you went to court, they locked you up, or you just
went to court and got locked up? Yeah, straight downstairs and off you go.
All right, let's talk about. Do you want to let's talk about the incident?
Mm-hmm.
February, was it 2012? 12, yeah.
2012, yeah.
Out on a night out.
His birthday.
From what I've heard outside,
do you know what? More importantly, I don't want to glamorize it, because the way I look at it, is that's someone's kid, innit? Like, and if someone had hurt my son and then was boasting about it, I'd be fuming. So I never ever want to do that. Second of all, knowing what I know now in the headspace, we never would have went out that day, even if it was his birthday or not. Because I just buried my nan the week before, and then found out my dad had cancer on the Monday. Went out on the Tuesday for his birthday. So
sorry, so let me stop you there. Did you go out to like master pain? Because at this stage,
yeah,
okay.
But it was my boy's birthday. I can't let him down. That goes back to the no shame thing. So can't not go out for his birthday. Whereas if knowing our relationship now, I said to him like, this is going on with my dad, he would have been like, don't even come out. Like, do you know what I mean? But we were younger, weren't we? As I say, I was 21. Yeah, 21, and making a lot of money. So
I'm not knowing what to do with it, innit?
Nah, but just we couldn't be told, innit? Like that's the best way. Like even if you showed us like a blueprint of how our life was going to end out, we'd go, oh, but we still end up with that. Oh, that's all right then. Okay. Whereas if you know what you know now, you'd have maneuvered a little bit smarter. Still not took away who you are, but just wouldn't have got in half of the trouble that I got in. But we had a good night, and then basically on a road in Birmingham called Broad Street, which we actually got banned from for a little bit, didn't we, afterwards, because of that incident. Like, it's like a row of clubs, and like, imagine all the clubs kind of come out at the same time. Yeah. I was on my phone, and someone said to me that your brother's in the fight back there. And as I turn around, it's just like, it's carnage going off. Like, but there's people coming out of clubs, there's people walking, there's arms in the air. It's like, I don't know anything. So all I know is my brother's in the middle of that. And I just lost my head. And yeah, I knew that he was there. He's like my brother from another. So I lost my head, and I didn't. He said I lost. I didn't even back my boy. I just, whoever was in the way was getting it. Again, not to be glorified. It was just, that's just how my mentality was. Until I know they're safe, everyone's a problem. Yeah. And then, like, if you imagine you're where the situation is, the cameras up here, like coming across, you can't really see anything. All the taxis are in a line, weren't they? It was a bus, so the buses were in a line. And this is why I always believed that was supposed to happen, because as the incident happened of me kicking the guy in the face, like the buses had opened. So it's like, I was meant to happen. Like the camera was right across the street pointing at this incident, and all the other stuff before you couldn't see nothing, and then opens and you see me kick a guy in the face. And that was all she wrote.
You see, when you watched it back, like with your solicitor or whatever,
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it back? Because when I remember I got arrested once, and it was for fighting, and I'm in court, but in a solicitor's room. I'm watching a video. Like, watch a video, then you can change your plea. I look at it. I'm laughing. My dad just looking at me, looking at the side of my face, going,
yeah, like shame. Your dad's got shame, but you're going, oh, I handle my business.
I've done my thing.
Yeah. I can understand that. I never watched it back because instantly I knew, like, you messed up there. And that's one thing, like, when I make a mistake, even though I'm stubborn and hard-headed, I'll always go, like, I messed up there. That's my fault. It might take me an hour, it might take me a week.
Yeah.
But I'll you know, my bad, I messed up there. Oh. And I am a man of, like, integrity in that regard. So I owned up to it straight away. Didn't grass anybody up. You can stand on that, can I, mate? Never grassed it. Well, yeah, he still got charged, but yeah, never grassed anybody up. Never threw anyone under the bus. Never tried to get somebody else to take the charge. It's me. You got to hold it. If you made that mistake, be a man and hold it.
Yeah.
And yeah, everybody else on it, people with more charges and criminal records than me, only got tag and go and clean some graffiti off a wall, and I had to go and sit down for a few months.
Did that annoy you, the fact that people that were involved a lot more?
Nah.
Yeah, I've got a question.
I hope so.
Oh, you're harsh, man. You're harsh. Obviously, before the incident, you're in your second year at Watford, making more money than you've ever made. You got your boys around you, blah, blah, blah. You go to jail. How many of them stuck around?
5.
Serious? How many was you out that night?
20 of us.
And only 5 stuck around.
The main one's there. I love all the rest of you. You know I love all the rest of you, but long as he's there, I'm good.
But you don't care about...
No, I care about my friends. I care about my brothers, my sisters. But I'll go to war with him. Me and him versus Taliban, I'm good.
You saying he can scrap, yeah?
No, I know what his morals are. And he's not about scrapping. It's about like, I know he ain't leaving me. I know if I die tomorrow, he's going to look after my kids. If he dies tomorrow, I'm going to look after his missus and his kids.
What was your football team saying? Like, how did you even stay at Watford? Like, this is why I call you Mr. Watford. Like,
so when it first happened, like police effed me up. I couldn't walk for 2 days.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, they effed me up. So I had to go into work and explain why my ankles were so big and had a few bruises and that. And Daishi was the manager as well. Daishi was quality, to be fair. He was quality. Like, he just like what you done kind of thing, explained it to him. And I was just like, look, I'm in a bit of bother, like my ankle and whatever. I said, but I'll be ready for Saturday. And he's like, you're not playing Saturday. I was like, I'll play Saturday, I'll be ready. I said, like, that's all I want to do. I just want to work. The incident's happened. I'm sorry, let's work. And that's what he says, just get your head down. Because whatever's coming is coming. We can't change that.
Yeah.
Just get your head down and work. And he did. He stuck by me. And even when I was in jail, tried to come and visit me, sent me letters. So he was
Fair play.
He was stand up. That's why I never have a bad word said about him. Like, he's a stand up guy. And yeah, just carried on. But when I actually went to jail, it was a blessing in disguise again, because Watford got bought over by the new ownership. They were concentrating on, like, Daishi left. I think they bought in 25 players. And by the end of the transfer window, they were like, who's number 9? Like, where is he? Went, saw him. And I was like 2 weeks away from coming home from on tag.
Yeah.
So at that point, they were like, oh, okay, we can wait 2 weeks. Let's see what he's about.
Fair play.
Came home, drove in the second day to see Zola, chatted to him. But I kind of scared a few people. And Akechi Anya told me about this. Because I was like, wham at this point. Like, just gymming for 3 months straight. No real running. Afro was mad. And then, I went old school as well. I had a Afro comb in my head. Got this tag on. And I just went in and chatted to him. Was like, look, I want to come back. I want to do what I'm doing. He remembered me from a game where we played West Ham the year before. Yeah. He's like, yeah, you're good. Like, I was there. You know what you're doing. He's like, but you're 7th or 8th striker at the time. And I just started laughing. He's like, why? I went, like, just give me a week. Because at this point, I'm focused. I know what I'm doing. Like, got my head sorted. And 10 days later, I scored the winner against Huddersfield.
Better. So, from jail, 10 days, get fit, score a winner.
I was never fit for the whole of that season. That's the only thing that, when I scored that Leicester goal at the end, you see my belly's all over the place. That's the only thing I hate from that video. But yeah, that was that same year. So that year where everyone talks about the Leicester goal, I started in jail.
That's mad. So from jail to the Premiership.
Nearly.
Oh yeah,
we lost in the final. So do your research, it's fine.
Even that, to score and get to Wembley from coming to jail is mental, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. And also the journey along the way. So remember, I was on tag. So every time you got kicked, the thing was going off as if I was like trying to take it off. Yeah. And then I had like crazy restrictions. Remember, like I had to, like, if we played Cardiff on the night, and I had to wait until like 9 a.m. of the day of the game, drive from mine to Cardiff, meet the team, play, and I had to be back before like 4 a.m. But we had to put in all these applications to like move the timings, because I was 7 till 7.
Yeah.
And like, so night games, I had to put in applications. Sometimes they were saying no. Then I had to like appeal it, and that it was long. And every game, I'm going into the ref room, and the ref's got to check it out. And I could just see the refs looking at me like, this ain't something we're supposed to deal with. Like, we just normally look at tape and that. So,
I hear that.
But yeah, it was a bit of a pain in the ass, but it actually helped, because I couldn't go out. I had to get my football back. Again,
that's something I can relate to, being on tag, putting in the applications. Like, I played like youth football, like nothing big, semi-pro. No, something semi-pro, like under 18s. I got my dad driving from London.
Yeah.
Halfway down to Guildford, kept me back for 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then Monday, all the other days, it's 7 to 7.
7 to 7, yeah. But the thing is, like, it's just that having that freedom taken away, innit? It's having that God-given right to just be able to go wherever you want to go. Best way I could describe it now is if I lost my car for a day. Someone took my car keys and I couldn't drive. Stress. I've got to walk somewhere. I've got to get Uber somewhere. Whereas with that, I could go out, but I just had to maximize the time I was out for.
Yeah, I think that it helped me because I didn't have to be out.
Mm.
Get me? I'm in, talk to my friends through the window on the phone, but I'm not out doing problems, innit?
Yeah, I went out I'd go see my friends still and see my mum and that, but I'd just make sure
you're back. Yeah,
I was in at 6:59.
Fair enough. So where did it actually start? How did you get to Walsall from wherever you was doing?
We were just playing Saturday League, weren't we? I wasn't even good enough to get into their first team. I was in Chelmsford Town B, and these lot were playing in the A, and he was about the same size as he is now. And I was just like, it's better if him answered it, really. I was like 16, 17. Yeah, so 16, 17, I was playing men's football with like 35-year-olds and that, like big seasoned vets, shall we say. Yeah. And I was just like that little Jack Russell chasing a crisp packet. I could just run all day. And they used to hate me. And we're lying. Pre-season, we'd turn up at this park and we had this old school guy called Colin, who was like drill sergeant. And he used to be like, run all the way down there, touch that pylon, run back, do these doggies, do this. I used to be lapping them and they used to hate me. They used to just call me all sorts. Because I was just like, I just wanted to win, even at that.
Yeah.
And then, I just played a game and ended up playing. This is when me and him got really close. We played a Sunday League game the following morning. And truth is, I couldn't even afford to play for Chelmsford. I owed £40 in subs for the year before. And they literally weren't going to let me play. But my cousin paid it for me.
Okay, I was going to say, I hope you've paid it back.
And a bit more. But yeah.
Better.
So, my cousin paid it for me. And then I played Sunday League with these lot. And he might want to edit this part out, but there's a story. When I first met him, we met at McDonald's in Chelmsford Wood. I knew him from school and we were cool. And then like everyone was like, "Oh, wait for disc. I'm like, all right, cool." This turns up steaming, still drunk from the night before. Goes and gets like, because I couldn't even afford the breakfast. You know, the £1 breakfast porridge and that.
Weren't you working?
Weren't
you working?
No, I was at college. I was on £50 a week, giving my mum 30. So I had £20 to last the weekend, and this was Sunday. I didn't have no money on Sunday. You mad? So what's his name? Like, he come in, got like 2 double muffin things, porridge, orange, and I'm like, this guy's loaded because he's driving himself. He's got chains on. He's got all his trainers are fresh, and he can get like as many McDonald's as he wants. I thought this guy was sick. So I'm like, can I get in your car? He's like, yeah, no problems. Didn't realize I get in the back of a McGann with like that much leg room, and you have to just sit there like this the whole way. It's the most uncomfortable journey I've got, and he's fully stretched out, leaning back, talking to me. So walking there, and this is the days of happy slap.
Yeah.
And he's like, look what man did last night, innit? What?
He slapped you?
No, he slapped this geezer and he filmed it. And he's filmed it, and I'm like, ha. I don't want to fuck with this guy. Like, I'm chill with him. And this is like, say this is, and that was like, and I'm going to play football with this guy. And I'm like, oh right, he's mad. But literally from that, he played up front, I played in midfield, and I did whatever he told me to do. Like if he said someone made a bad tackle on him, he's like, get him, and I'd smash him the next time, and it was just respect came out of it, and ever since then, really, we've just been crazy tight. But yeah, just since then.
Okay, and how did Walsall find out?
From that, someone come and watch the game.
Okay,
watch the game, and then like we were going out on a Saturday night, and I tried to speak to me before we were going, but how it used to work, you play at 3, and then you have the 5:30 kickoff.
Yeah,
but it used to be like Championship then more than the Prem now. Used to like go in and people put like little £1 bets on and play cards and drink and organise the night out from in the clubhouse. So I was only interested about going in because if I miss where they're going, like I'm being left behind. This guy's going, oh, Walsall, and when he's come here, and I've never been to Walsall. And like, if you don't know, that's like being in North London and not going to Watford. Like, that's how close it is.
Yeah.
But I didn't know where that was. So I was like, yeah, whatever. Gone.
Get me out.
Yeah, gone in there, had a good Saturday night, had a great Sunday night. Wake up Monday to my door being knocked. And I'm like, looked out the top window like, what's up? He's like, got that trial. I was like, that was real, yeah. He's like, yeah. Put my dirty boots from the Lakeside game in a Asda bag. Quickly brushed my teeth. He dropped me there. Slept all the way in the car because I still had a hangover. And then, yeah, when I got there, he went to leave and I was like, where are you going? He's like, home. I'm like, am I supposed to get home then? And he lent me 20 quid and that's how I got home. And that was literally the story has gone from there.
Not downplaying yourself, but you must have been very good to go to a trial drunk and get signed.
No, the trial lasted 3 months.
Oh, okay, but
yeah, but like it was only meant to be a week.
Yeah.
And then it was like it just kept going, and then I generally couldn't afford to do it, so I weren't getting paid enough.
Yeah,
so they ended up giving me a train pass because I was like, I can't get here, so they gave me a train pass, and then I went to Hales Owen as like a trial / game thing for them, and I scored 8 goals in 10 games for them, or 10 in 8, one way or the other. And then they signed me off the back of that in like April, but I went there in like August, September time.
So you basically on trial the
I was
whole
just
season.
there, yeah. And the only thing that got me through is that Hales Owen were paying me like £50 a game, £100 a goal.
Not bad.
And on my second game, I got a hat trick, so I was living. Yeah.
So when you finally sign on the dotted line, what are you thinking? Like, what have you think I made it, or is this just
like this will get me till June, and that's it because my contract was until June 30th.
Oh, okay.
So I only signed until the end of the season. So I was just like keep training, keep doing whatever, and I could afford to buy clothes. Like I was going TK Maxx and George, and I could get you a whole outfit for about £12, and that was it.
Shoes included.
Yeah, I didn't care. The only thing I've ever liked is trainers, but like a t-shirt and whatever, I could make that run with about 15, 20 quid. I could make that work, and then I was out every weekend with the boys.
Fair play.
Just put into a table and that. But yeah,
fair play. So when you go back pre-season, offer you new deals. Are you buzzing? Is the deal better than what you was on?
Same,
yeah.
£180, and I'm starting first team.
And you're on 100. What league were they in?
League just got promoted from League 2 to League 1.
£180.
Mm-hmm.
What drove you to think I need to make more? Like some people
It was honestly never about the money. It was just the fact that was a job. I could play football, and that was a job. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, you could actually go train and play in front of like at the time probably about 8,000-9,000, and that was it. I'm gonna do this then, because if I'm not, I'm gonna play football anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to pay to play. So if someone wants to pay me £180, then
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm rich. In my head, I'm rich.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that everyone around me had more money than me, but I was rich. Even the players that I was playing with were on a lot more money than me, but I could get to and from training, and I could get an Adidas tracksuit every week.
How did your dad take it? How did your dad take it?
Yeah, he loved it. He was mad proud. And also, we were sponsored by Banks's, the beer. So when I got man of the match, he used to get a crate of beer. He was guest. He used to love it. But he'd come and like, he'd make a fool of himself. He was really loud, my dad, innit? So like, see, he's laughing, he knows. So like, I'd be warming up and they'd be like, "Oi, big head, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Dad, man, I'm at work." He's like, "Why are you jumping and running? You're not even coming on." Like, just cussing me in front of all of these people. And I'm like, trying to be professional and fun and that. And then I'd score and he'd like run down the side and like, yeah, it was funny, man.
Do you think he's doing that? Like, obviously, it's a bit of banter between you and the dad, but to say, right, that's my son. Like, to make
of course.
Know.
But do you think if another geezer said I was rubbish, nah, wouldn't have it. Even if I'd missed a penalty and I was going to win a game, he's crap, and as people do, he would take on everyone. Can't say nothing bad about it. He can, but no one else can. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
What's this rat prank I keep hearing about? Like, people are like, make sure you ask him about the prank. Make sure.
The rat. Sorry. Yeah. Oh. So yeah, at Warsaw we had like a dodgy school, and it like a school of people that were all a little bit wired off, like Anthony Gerrard, Manny Smith, Ishmael de Montagnag. There was loads of us. Michael Ricketts. It was all a little bit bit wired differently, should we say? And these like pranks kind of escalated bit by bit. And one of them, I won't name names because there'll be legal suits, but somebody like loosened someone's tire on a car. I didn't tell them. So when they were driving, like the tire come off.
What?
Yeah.
Do you know this is I know you haven't finished, but remember like the old school Wimbledon team?
Yeah.
Like that.
It was like that, not to that extent, but it was like that. Then you had like somebody threw a live snake in the room and shut in the changing room and shut the door, but the door was open from the outside, so he's holding it and there's this like snake just, and I'm scared of snakes, so yeah,
same.
I proper shit myself that day. And then it escalated into someone bringing in live rats, so like this big for snakes, frozen. Sorry, not live, frozen rats. So some were in wash bags. So people that open it, like you're chatting and put your hand in to grab a shower gel. You just grab this big rat. And then I was driving my mum's Ford Focus. I got in the car, like looked, there's a rat in the front seat with a seatbelt on. Just chilling.
That is quality.
Yeah.
That is funny. But I think I would have spazzed out, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Nah. So also Birmingham club, you're a Birmingham lad.
Mm-hmm.
Are you being seen differently by people, like the local people, or is it just treating you the same old Troy?
No, I've always been treated as Troy, really. I get treated differently because obviously the notoriety of football, like, but at Walsall, no one really cared about Walsall because it weren't none of the big teams. You got Blues, Villa, West Brom, Wolves, Leicester. You've got all those teams in around. So Walsall was wasn't really cared about. The change mainly came once Watford got into the Prem, really.
Okay.
That's when we saw the big change. And maybe the Leicester goal. Like just before that, it started to change because everyone saw the Leicester goal.
Fair play. Just to mention, like you've trimmed up a lot because that if you look back at the Leicester, you ain't got no neck. Solid, built like a fridge.
He can take credit for that as well because he's been shouting at me for about 3 years to stop lifting weights. So I finally listened this summer and just no more weights, just body weight stuff now.
See, when you was at Watford, so you from also get to Watford, how did you take the fame when you started becoming?
I didn't really take the fame. I think it was more of what's the word? It was more of a like the money took over more than the fame. Because like I went from £180 a week to £5,000 a week.
Straight away.
Instantly. And I got a signing on fee and I was like, yeah, I'm the man now. Like in mind, the house I was living in cost 85,000. So like I had a council house that we lived in.
Yeah.
And a friggin' Merc C-Class, all white C-Class outside. But I'm still living where we grew up.
When you was at Watford?
Yeah.
You're driving down?
Just driving around and whatever. I'm still in, people from Birmingham will know, like Mono, Rococo. I'm still in the places I probably shouldn't have been at that time, but I'm still around and I'm still approachable. That's the best way. I'm still approachable. So it was more the money that made me a bit of a dick more than the fame. Because at this point, I just thought I was the man.
Obviously, growing up and you're playing football, you get to Watford, you're on your £5,000. You're probably one of the first people to ever say how much there was on first.
I've said it before. That's why I don't.
Okay. Did you have a wish list that you thought? Because me, I'm like flying a private jet, like own a house. Yeah, I'm like 32, don't own a house and stuff like that. Like, did you have a wish list that you ticked off?
No, do you know what? Honestly, never.
No?
God's honest truth. Do you know what I did? I just did what everybody else was doing and better. So if you bought one pair of lubes, I bought 6. If you bought a Gucci belt, I bought 5.
Sorry about that.
No, that's not even gassing. That's just what I did. Okay. All my money went on bullshit, on trainers, cars, nights out. If another footballer was out and bought 1 bottle, I bought 10. I had to let him know that me and my team were the best. I grew up on friggin' Paid in Full and all of these. You know what I mean? I grew up on American Gangster. I want to be like them lot.
Money Mitch and all that.
Yeah, I want to not in a like a notoriety, but more like when you see us, you see us.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? If there's sparklers come in, you're gonna see there's 20 sparklers come in here. And there'll be times I do it and I won't even drinking.
Good friend, you, innit?
Nah, I'm a twat. There's not like
you brought around and walked out.
Yeah, just to prove a point.
But why do you have to prove a point? Like you're a footballer. Like my friend says it all the time.
Because when I was going out when I was 17, 18, 19, 20, and people were laughing at me, and I'm happy to get VK drinks, like for people that know, like little WKDs and Smirnoff Ices, and wait on another man to pass me a drink. No one gave me no respect then. I was still the same person. But now the notoriety's changed and the money's changed and you want to hang around me. But when I was a nobody, you wanted to laugh at me. So now I'm going to buy 20 drinks and I'm going to leave.
Just because you can.
Just because I can. And that's an arsehole mentality. That is,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying I'm an arsehole for doing it because I should have just went, and who am I actually impressing? But you wanted to look at me like I was less than.
It tested
just
you.
because of the t-shirt. No, just because of the t-shirt I couldn't afford.
Okay.
Like you lot were wearing Evisu. I might have had to go with like, I wouldn't have been Zara, would have been Next or something like that then. But you wanted to look at me less than. Why? Based on what? I had people, I won't name his name, but he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There was a footballer we used to play with, had a Louis Vuitton wash bag. And I was 19 and I said, can I sit there in that seat? He went, nah, my bag sat there. It's worth more than you.
What, this is in the change room?
This is when I was like coming through at Warsaw. He knows who he is.
Yeah.
He knows who he is. And ask him if I've forgiven him for doing that.
I'll ask him after. But
I remember everything. Like everything that anyone's ever done wrong to me. I remember. You might not have intentionally done it.
Yeah.
Or you treated me less than. If I said to you, oh, can I borrow £5 or can I do this? Nah, I ain't lending you £5 because you don't think you're going to get it back. But when you come and ask me for £600 for your football team now, but you think I'm going to do it?
Not a chance.
Exactly. But I'm now bad for doing that because you know I can do it.
But some people say just be the bigger man, innit?
Fuck that. Fuck that. Why should I be the bigger man, but you can be the lesser man and still gain for being the lesser man?
I hear that.
So.
All right, cool. When you went to Watford, I know we're jumping up and down. It started off a bit slow. Did you struggle with the jump from League One to Champ? Like you've gone from Sundays to League One to Champ.
Nah, do you know what I struggled with? Actually going in.
What, driving down?
Nah, I was drunk all the time.
What?
We went out Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was out. I never turned up on a Monday. I've got about 9 cats that died. I never owned a cat in my life. That's Malky. Like I was an arsehole.
Rockstar, like you're just out all the time, innit?
Was out, and then I just turned up on a Saturday, and also I wasn't playing at the start because Marvin Sordell and Danny Graham hit the ground running. They were doing really well, so I'm like, I don't need to be fit to play 15 minutes. So I'll just go out and have a good time. And my mentality was that this was all going to end. I thought at some point, like this contract ends and we're back to playing Chelmsford Town. I didn't think you could leave Watford and go to Cholton or to Shrewsbury. I just thought you did that and they sent you back to where you came from.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what it was.
So when did you realise that football is actually a career? Like you can actually jump from club to club? Because you say clubs come in.
About 5-6 years ago.
Serious?
Like registered, like I knew it,
yeah.
But what I'm saying, register it in my head about 5-6 years ago.
Even when surely clubs come in for you and all of that.
Yeah, of course, but nothing ever materialised from it. So I just used to think it was just like paper talk, and then you got a new contract off it, and everyone just carried on like nothing happened. I'd had loads of offers from loads of teams, but nothing ever really got to the point of it being that serious. So just left it.
I was going to say, would you say Watford your comfort zone? But you just answered that and said that it wasn't really serious. It's just hearsay and stuff like that, isn't it?
Nah, Watford at my comfort zone. Nothing could be my comfort zone, really. Your comfort's only when you're comfortable. And if I never thought I was comfortable, I couldn't be comfortable. So I never thought, do you know what? I'm going to sign a 5-year here and I'm going to buy that nice house. I'm going to stack all this money up. I was like, sign that 5-year. And again, people around me will tell you, if I bought a house, they were like, that's sick. I'm like, yeah, the next one's going to be even bigger.
Better.
The next one's going to be, and that's just how I was. So I'm never happy in the moment, which is really wrong because I should be, because I've earned that. It's only last 3 years, 4 years, I've started going like, oh, that's good. Like what I've done is actually not bad. I'm always like, oh, forget about that. I don't own any trophies. My nan's got them all. So man of the matches, player of the seasons, all that. My nan's got them all. All the shirts I've got over the years, he's got them all. He's got a 6 shirt collection, probably worth about £1 million, but he's got loads of them,
Better.
like Rooney's and all of that from United. Like, I ain't got none of them.
That's mad. Like, but you know, like some people, they collect all of the stuff and like, so this is what I've accomplished. Obviously now you can go and Google and all of that, but you just look like, don't you really want all of that? Like, like son, this is what I've done. Like, I wore this is Rooney's shirt.
Nah, do you know what I want? And the God's honest truth is this. It sounds cheesy as I'm saying it. I just want respect.
Do you not feel you have it?
Yeah, but I want 10 years from now, he still respects me. My sons look up, my daughters look up to me and go, he's sick. When he comes and goes.
Yeah, it does. But you can have those things. Your son bring. Like, imagine you walk home, you've got all the shirts and stuff. Your son comes home, he's like, "Oh, this is my dad. He played against Wayne Rooney. He's an England legend. Da 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 da. My dad done this. Man in the match."
Do you know if I ask my son now who's 12, Wayne Rooney or KSI, which do you think he cares about?
Yeah, KSI. Yeah, I hear that.
The world moves on, so it's all right. Like me going, I've got all this memorabilia and all this. I've got like 2 shirts of my own. That's it. And the ones recently is only because, again, he tells me like, you need to keep some stuff.
Yeah.
FA Cup semi-final trophy, final runners-up medal. I ain't got that. But my nan's. Don't mean nothing to me. I was the first loser. Great. I had a shit summer that summer because I got dicked 6-0 by Man City. Don't mean nothing to me. But watching my kids progress and seeing like my oldest son's mad at coding, he's really good at coding, maths he's good at. That brings me more joy than me getting a Zlatan Ibrahimovic shirt, which I've got, by the way. But you get what I mean? Like all of these things, like that don't mean nothing. 3 years from now, there'll be a new person. There'll be a new Troy Deeney, there'll be a new Wayne Rooney, there'll be a new Mbappe. The world evolves.
Not a lot of people think of like view their career and their life like that. Like, I'm like, I'm lost for words. Like, listening.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a weirdo. That's why.
No, I rate it. Like, you're proper cool, like down to earth and all that. I know I'm like kind of sucking.
Am I?
Bro, you've been open with us. You've only just met me.
No, because I generally don't care. Like, said it before we came in. Like, what if everybody in this room thought I was a piece of shit? Oh well, I go home and my kids love me. So you asked me to be, yeah. Do you get what I mean? Like, that's just how I look at it. If I never earn a penny again, I'm cool. I know how to maneuver. I don't chase pound note. I love a pound note, by the way, but I don't chase one.
Yeah.
I don't get up and sell my soul on Instagram and go, oh, do you know what? I'm going to post a picture of me in the gym now with like no top on every 3 minutes to go, look, I'm a workout guy, I'm a PT guy, or I'm eating here, or I'm doing this. It's just not who I am. I prefer to just. How many pictures have we got that haven't been posted from in sick places? I don't like it.
Do you want to drop?
Yeah, he could be a better interview than me, I promise you. But it's just like I don't do the validation. That's what it is. I don't do the validation from a stranger. Stranger can't validate me.
I hear that. Like, again, I'm lost for words. Like,
yeah, sorry.
Like, it's good to like to take in pause.
That was a big pause. That was good to take it. What?
At least I paused it. But going back to Watford, you've been there what, 11 years?
Yeah, this is year 12 now.
Doesn't it frustrate you being a yo-yo club? Wouldn't you just be like, oh, let me just
yo-yo club? We're not West Brom, bro. Relax.
Wait.
Go on.
How many times? How many seasons have you stayed in the Prem consecutively? 5. What? Stayed in it 5?
5.
Then got relegated, then back up.
Mm-hmm. No, relegated, then back up in my time period.
But it's a yo-yo club.
How do you work that out? That's like saying you like Invincibles don't count then.
Of course it does.
Why? When was the last time you did it?
Huh?
When was the last time you did it?
Last time you did something.
When's the last time you did it?
Let's not get into that. We're not fat.
I still play.
This is not
what I'm saying. Look, this is what I'm saying. This is what I get. A man said yo-yo club, yeah? So in 7 years, we've been in the Prem 6 of those 7. So that's a yo-yo club, then everyone's fucked. That's like saying you can't call yourself a top 4 club no more.
I don't think we can.
You can't call yourself a top 8 club then,
Probably.
based off your last year. But you don't. 90% of Arsenal fans will watch this and go, we had Thierry Henry. He was 44 yesterday.
Hey, listen.
Do you get what I mean?
We've got to let it go. We've got to let it go.
No, but I'm saying that's what it is. So I don't take offense to it. I'm like, that's a bit yo-yo club. I perceive yo-yo club like up 1 year. I would class Norwich more of a yo-yo club because they come up.
I'll take it back.
So yeah, well, I'm glad you did. Thank you.
That's cool. Only because like I watch football religiously, and then like when you hear Watford, it's like
it's not a big club.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, maybe.
But like a Bournemouth, that would be a yo-yo club. Would you agree? Because in the time frame, they've been more in the Championship than we have. QPR, like these teams are not back in the Prem like we are. So I can take offence to it because I think Watford only been in the Prem 2 times before me, and every year got relegated first time. So like in our little community, like I'm successful. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that's like, I don't know. We're trying to do an Arsenal comparison. It's like whenever somebody now talks about the Arsenal team that once played, they're comparing it to Invincibles, title challengers. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you're looking at it going like, like it's completely different. But if you asked like Ben White, he would now say, well, we're on a new journey and I'm better than the last 3 to 4 years. If he finishes 6th this year, he did better than the last 3 to 4 years. So do you get what I mean? It's more personal to who you are in that moment.
Can you stop comparing Watford and Arsenal, please? Like I don't want Arsenal fans coming at me.
Brentford and Arsenal?
What?
Should I compare Brentford and Arsenal?
Listen, let's go back to business. How's Elton John? You must have met him.
Yeah, he's on my podcast.
Better.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a good guy.
Better.
I can phone him. I can email him. It's cool. I don't know. I find it strange. Like, you know what I mean? Elton John is sick, but we're not going to go for a cup of tea, are we? Like,
no, but I mean, you can message him and he'll reply. No,
but for what?
No, but just again, yeah. You're
do you
get
what I'm saying? Like, what am I going to message him for? Like, I'm going to message him soon. If he watches this, he's got a concert coming up. My nan wants to go, so I'm going to take my nan.
Yeah, hook me up as well. Yeah.
Rocket Man was a big film.
I watched it.
It's a big film, a lie?
Yeah, it is a good film.
You don't realise he's got so many hits.
I didn't. Do you know, another film is Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
I didn't know what Queen... I went to Coco Bongo's. They done a Queen tribute.
Yeah.
I was like, what's this, man? I'm sitting down, got on the plane, watched. I was like, oh my God, like this is sick.
Yeah, they got hits.
Yeah,
but that goes back to the mentality though, innit? Because we're not used to listening to that style of music. We don't think that is like we don't rate that. But, you know, Chipmunk brings a Clash out and everyone's like, oh, that's sick. But Elton John's been doing it for like 30 years.
And he's got the Grammys and all of that.
Yeah, so I mean, and still relevant in music. And we're like, it's not really our thing. So it comes back to what you know, really.
Mm-hmm.
You struggling, bro?
No, I'm not struggling. I'm just... I
was just wondering, you're struggling?
No, I'm good, man. You just do your thing.
No, go.
You just do your thing on your phone. What have you got set up for life after football?
You know, how long do you want? What have I got set up after football? Media, obviously. So
you're doing well with the Sun column.
I was doing TalkSport last year. Don't want to brag, but our show won best show around. But yeah, it's fine. We won an award for that.
Better.
Laura Woods and Alan McCoist. So yeah, that morning show, I found it good. I just goes back to what I said. I find it difficult to talk about the same thing all the time. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you're talking through the football show and you get like a 15-minute segment to discuss something. Like we've had like an hour and we've joked about Arsenal 3 or 4 times, but you could go into a deeper conversation and actually unpack it a bit more. So I'm probably going to come away from the radio a little bit, probably go into something a bit like this where you unpack it a bit more and have more of a discussion.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like Arsenal fan TV, even though I love Robbie, DT and Troops and that, and not the other weirdo. But yeah, like I think you can have a more of a fan debate topic about football and then start exposing the people that play FIFA and the people that know football.
No, I hear that. And I hope
I'm gonna get him on it because he's like, you know, Carl Pilkington, the idiot abroad, the angry man.
Yeah.
That's him.
What, when it comes to football? Yeah.
He's so angry.
Oh mate, yeah, get him on. I hope it goes well, obviously.
Now we'll do that. I got the son. I got investments and that as well.
No, better.
The housing stuff does all right.
Better.
I can't complain. But I'm gonna sound like I'm blowing my own trouble. But anything I put my mind to, I'll be successful at.
Love that.
It's just finding out what works. I might just sit back and just watch the kids and just be that parent that just like whips them like, just go, let's go.
You see that? Aren't you a person that gets bored?
Oh yeah, I get bored with this life.
Really?
I'm bored with this.
Wow.
Like football is cool, but my day is repetitive.
Yeah.
I get up, I go work, I train, come home, have a shit, have some food, train again, put the kids to bed, I go to sleep, and I do the same thing for 6 days a week.
Don't you think you'll be one of them footballers who struggle when they're out of the structure?
I need to be doing something, but nah, I don't. Because the only thing I don't have now is time.
Okay.
So what I can now do is position things. So yeah.
Nah, better.
Well, like, my boy over there is in the agency game. He's doing that. Join him in that.
Okay.
And just dabble. I don't think I could commit to like I'm going to be a full-time journalist because I'd get bored with that.
Yeah.
Just dabble in things, and as long as I've got enough money to keep my head above water, I'm good.
Fair play. How many seasons in the Prem?
Me,
Yeah.
This is season 6.
You'll be all right, man. You'll be all right.
I was paid well in the Champ.
Yeah. Listen, you'll be all right. Yeah. Just to close, do you have a message for like young people, like a young Troy Deeney or young people from your area or other areas?
Now, do you know what? You're going to start me now. This is the old Troy. It's gone. The new Troy is. I do have a message for people, but the message is like, we live in a dangerous world, innit, of like, not violence. I'm talking like cancel culture, yeah?
Yeah.
So you may have an opinion and you can't actually say your true opinion now because you got to worry about the ramifications of what your true opinion is.
Yeah.
So we're actually closed-minding everyone when you think about it. Because now the world's getting to two things. You're either like a racist or like you're the wokest person ever. Like you can't be in the middle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like black and white. So let's say this is going to like really divide opinion, but let's say Donald Trump, right? Everyone now goes racist, right? Because of what he's done, he's racist. But you have to, if you strip that, he's a successful businessman, somehow managed to make himself president of America.
After coming off a TV show as well.
So if you strip the racism part away from it, which you can't forget, but just strip that, is there good things within that you can take and learn from?
Yeah.
But we don't, because we've gone into this or this now. So now it's like, he's racist, so push him over there. Can't like anything he does. If you've got a green hat on and I don't like green, can't talk to you. Same thing that's happening with COVID now. You're vaccinated or anti-vaccine. Can't be like, do you know what? I'm going to take the jab. If you don't want to, that's cool. Let's carry on.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to like divide and split everybody and argue about everything. Like, at what point can you just be cool?
I don't know if it's going to happen though.
Why not?
Because like you say, everyone's in a bubble. Everyone wants to please other people.
Exactly. And then Instagram is doing that more.
Yeah.
Social media is doing that more. And we have a responsibility with the platforms we have to show to people it's all right. Yeah. This is the best analogy I'll ever use, and it's a little bit crude, so I apologize. But every time you see people take a shit on Instagram, we all do it though, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you see that? But then when somebody says, "Oh, I'm having a breakdown," we all go, "Oh, I feel sorry for that person." We're all going through stuff. Why not explain what's going on? Let me try and help you get out of it. Don't just feel sorry for me and pity and press like and not come back to it. Let's post the real life. My real life is boring. I've got a boring life. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
It keeps me happy. I went out with these lot the other Sunday. After 20 minutes of complaining that my ankle was hurting. I don't want to stand up no more. I train. I come home and I lie on the sofa. I'm not interested in standing in the club and going, look how good I look. For who? For what? But the whole world now is about showing what you've got, showing why you're better than somebody else, and looking for notifications of a stranger.
Facts.
Think about how mad that is. That
it's mental. It is.
You have lived your life, go through what you're going through, is looking for validation off a geezer that lives in Sweden that don't know who you are. Never going to impact you or your family's life, but I need that tick. And you see, now with young girls, I've got 2 daughters. He's got a daughter. How many people now are like showing their breasts, and if they
mate,
don't get 1,000 likes, take it down, do another one, put a different filter on it, and do it again. Like,
or like mold their bodies in there. Yeah,
what's all that about?
Yeah,
but we're not allowed to talk about that because now you're body shaming. How about we can say that that's weird? We're allowed to say it's weird. Be normal.
But the world is heading into it's going to be sensitive. Like, you can't say
it's going to be sensitive, but it's not going to be real.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So now what we're saying to kids is the Barbies and the action men that you look at, that's how you've got to look. And if you don't do that, you're less than.
You're weird, basically.
You're less than. Yeah, you're not as good as that. That's not normal.
No, it's not.
That's not normal. And all this participation awards, that's why missus, I get shouted at all the time. My kid comes third or fourth in sports day. You're not taking that participation award. You lost. Because when you go to the real world and you apply for a job and there's one job and somebody else gets it, they don't go, "Oh, thanks very much for that, mate. Yeah, we'll get you on the next one, yeah."
Or we'll give you a little check for
we'll give you £500. Thanks for applying. You got to win.
Yeah, facts.
Now you don't have to be an arsehole when you win. That's down to the parents to guide. But there's certain things that we're going away from that are just going to make everything now just be like fake and weird, and that's not me being an old timer, that's just me having standards and morals. How many people do you know on your Instagram, or friends that you've known for a long time, that you've muted on Instagram? I've got 50 of them. People that I know that person at home is cool. Yeah. But me and that person on Instagram, I can't follow them because it'll make me dislike you. Because you talk shit and I know the life you're leading ain't that life.
Yeah.
So why are you presenting that? Who are you trying to impress?
Exactly.
And if you'll do that for likes, what will you sell me down the river for further down the line?
Facts.
So I'll just mute you. He taught me how to mute people. I was getting in trouble for unfollowing them, but I was just unfollow it. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
And that's okay because that's my social media. It's my time. That's what I want to look at and what I want to see.
Yeah.
I don't have to like every picture of you and your 6-year-old's picture that looks like shit. I don't care. Do you get what I mean?
I get you. I still unfollow. I don't do the mute. Just unfollow. No,
mute's easier for less headache.
Algorithm thing. Like if you don't like them enough, they won't pop up. So it's all good.
Okay, see, I'm not that.
Yeah,
I'm not that technologically advanced, but it's that. Honestly, I feel passionately about it because something I'm doing recently now with kids in schools, and that is like the school system was set up in like 1976, the current curriculum. What from 1976 is transferable into today's world? Nothing. So why has it not been changed? Why are kids learning about algorithms and all of this stuff, but not learning about coding? When the two now are intertwined to make what we all live on.
Yeah, facts.
Which is this.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean? No one talks about engineering. Engineering made this. But let's go and do, history. When no one does it anymore, just Google it.
No, I hear that.
So yeah, I feel passionate about it because again, I got kids and that, and I want them to have a good life, lead a good life, but not just get caught up in this sucker shit, really.
With your kids, how are you going to handle bringing up your sons in this knife crime era and all of this? Are you going to put them in a bubble, or are you going to just make them street smart? Like, what's your...
No, I don't want my kids to be street smart. Because to be street smart, you have to go through street shit. It's all right me telling you and going, worry about that guy there. But if you're oblivious to it, you're still going to be oblivious. You have to go through it and lived it to be a certain level of street smart. I hope my kids live in a bubble. Be totally honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I can't get away from the fact that knife crime exists, same way it has done for years. So, I think the danger now again with social media is that they're exposed to so much more than they usually would be.
Yeah.
That's the danger. It's a tough one. It is a tough one because I see it from both sides of the coin. I know, or for PR purposes, I used to know people that would carry knives and guns, whatever. We all have been in that environment. And you understand why they do it. But I also believe if you carry, you're putting yourself in a mindset that you're willing to do something with it.
Yeah.
So I would always encourage like people to get their kids into like self-defense, boxing, mixed martial arts, whatever it might be. But then at the same time, it comes down to the parenting and the grounding, because if my kid is a good boxer, that doesn't mean he's not going to be a bully.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he's not, now he knows how to fight. He's not going to use that to his advantage to gain other things and manipulate. So main things about parenting, knife crime, I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon because, again, people might think I'm a sellout, I'm just getting older. The ramifications for it aren't bad enough. So if you're going to do, say, 5 years for carrying, you're only going to do 2.5. That doesn't scare people.
And the thing is with that, the world moves, you don't. So when you come out, you're still on the same shit you was on.
And mentally, you're behind.
Yeah.
I'm not. We've all got friends who are like that.
Yeah.
Friends that have gone at the age of 22, 23, 30 years old now, still act like 20-year-olds, still act like babies.
Yeah.
And what that then does is create divides within that. But, you know, if you want to dig a little bit deeper to that person, he's failed. There's more social pressure than normal. It's more social pressure than normal now because he thinks he's behind. All his friends are ahead.
Yeah.
Now he can't go get a job because he's got 5-year sentence behind him. And even if he could get a job, that job's 20 grand a year, 30 grand a year, let's say. But his friends might be making that a week.
Yeah.
And he's already 5-6 years behind. So this slow money now looks even slower than it already was. So like, look at the social pressure that we're now putting on this person to deliver. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
But we're all creating it. Because again, with Instagram, we're showing you the car we're in. Might not even be our car. I could take a picture in his car today and everyone think I'm the man. And it's not even my car.
Yeah.
No one even cares anymore to see the substance behind it. They want to see, like, what are you doing? What have you got? How many people are posting pictures of like Jordans and Yeezys and lubes and are living in their mum's spare room and not paying mum rent, but you've got £600, £700, £800 worth of trainers upstairs.
It's mad.
But that's the world we live in.
It is, yeah.
So yeah. So to answer the question, I will try and shout at my kids as much as possible, and I don't care if people think that's like me being unrealistic. My kids go private school. They don't know anything about stabbings and chefings and all of this stuff unless they hear it on rap music.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. Yeah.
That's all they know it on. I heard my son, I won't name who he was listening to someone in the car the other day, and I was like, "Do you even know what he's saying?" Nah, but it sounds good though. And then I broke it down to him, and he's like, you can see him like mortified. Do you know what I mean? Like, but that's me as a parent. I'm not going to stop you from listening to music because that's what everyone in his school is listening to. The new kid generation of like little something or other. They're all littles now anyway. Little Dirk, little Turk, little whoever it might be. I sound like my dad, but they all do that. Who am I to stop him from listening to that? Because I was listening to Eminem at 12, 13.
Yeah.
Grew up on G Unit, Tupac. Like that was all for an age profile that was above my age. But I was told as a kid, A, you can't swear in front of your mom. And B, that stuff that they're talking about, if you ever do it, I'll mash you up. So, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So the parenting and the way I was raised on it made me understand that this is just music. Now there's a blurred line again, what we're coming back to. Like, do they really do that? Is that what's really happening? Yeah. Actually, if I go on YouTube, I can see that this, and this happened. If I go on TikTok, I can see that happened. We weren't exposed to that. Yeah. Our parents' word was enough.
Facts. Thank you for coming on, man. That was an amazing story. Had me lost for words, but yeah, man.
We'll do a part 2.
Defo.
When you get blue ticked, I'll do a part 2.
Inshallah. That's soon, man. Hopefully soon.
No, thank you guys.
No worries, man. Cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah, quick fire round. Favorite player?
What is this? All time or right now?
All time.
Oh.
Or right now? Up to you.
R9.
R9?
R9.
Most skillful player you faced?
So I'm going to give him credit because I don't think he gets enough credit. Raheem Sterling.
Yeah? Favorite pre-match meal?
Beans on toast.
Biggest adrenaline rush you've had in football?
Scoring the penalty semi-final against Wolves in the last minute.
Decent. What's your superstition before a game?
I don't have one.
No,
I generally don't have one. No. Probably listen to some old school hip hop.
Worst trainer but best on a match day?
One of the top 5. There's a lot of them. Oh, the worst trainer but best in a match there. Great question. Ben Foster.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Most embarrassing moment?
On a football pitch? In life? Fuck. Most embarrassing moment? Most embarrassing moment, I took a shit on a golf course.
What's your initiation song?
I did Trey Songz. I can't remember what it was. Like Trey Songz are fabulous. I forget the name of it.
Okay. Any regrets?
Yeah, fuck loads. But no, I honestly don't regret anything. I am where I am today because of everything I've done. So I don't regret shit now. I enjoy it all. I get in trouble. I don't mean to offend. Try and be a better person every day. So I don't regret nothing.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on.